Good morning. In this presentation, I'm going to show how to modify your Subledger accounting rules. So, as usual, in Fusion, you start off with setup and maintenance. Click on the username on the corner, right hand corner, and then click on setup and maintenance. And everything in Fusion start off with an implementation project. So I click on implementation project to go to the project that I have created. The project that I have created is FRM test implementation. So I click on the FRM test implementation, and so I have only one offering attached to this project, which is financials. So I click on financials. I open financials. I have defined common applications configuration for financials. So I click on that. Then you have at the bottom there is define ledgers. So I click on define ledger and open ledger. And then below that there is define accounting configuration. I click on that and open here to come to the tasks. One of the tasks is specify ledger options. So I click on go to task on specify ledger options. This is where you attach chart of accounts, calendar currency, subledger accounting method to the ledger. So my ledger is US primary ledger. So US primary ledger, you can see that name is US primary ledger, currency is USD, chart of account is US chart of accounts, calendar is accounting MMYY, first open period is 01/11, number of future enterable period is 1. I have here accounting method is US standard accrual copy. This is the accounting method. So this is what we have to work on. What am I going to work on this? I'm going to show you how to configure. Obviously, as you can see, this is a copy. That means the original one was US standard accrual. So I'm going to show you what are the steps needed to create a new accounting method of type user in Oracle Fusion. So now that I know my accounting method is US standard accrual copy, I cancel this and I come out. I'm going to modify this to create my own account derivation rules for revenue account from AR. That is my objective. So for that I go back to financials. I go to now Subledger method, define receivables configuration. So I'm going to AR Subledger accounting method. Here define common accounts receivable configuration. At the bottom of this, here balance monitoring, define customer basic items. Here we have defined Subledger accounting method for receivables. So remember, my objective is to modify the account derivation rule for invoices. So I'm here now. I open this. I can open define Subledger accounting for receivable. Then below that I open define Subledger accounting rules. Below that I open define Subledger accounting methods, and go and see the manage accounting methods. So our accounting method is US standard accrual copy. So I can type here. So this was our US standard accrual copy. The original one, why did I copy it? The original one was US standard accrual. Let's open the US standard accrual and see for ourselves. So in US standard accrual, for every event class in every event class in receivable, you have created a rule sets, journal entry rule set. I'm interested in invoice. In invoice, there is something called GSI PPM invoice rule set. So I'm going to modify this in my standard accrual copy. So I'm going to go. So I have to see GSI PPM invoice default rule set. I click on this rule set and I want to see what is the account rule for revenue. So when I click on this rule set, I see that the revenue for the revenue it is kept as US1 unbilled AR. This is actually a wrong one, but right now I'm not bothered in rectifying this one. Rather, I'm more interested in creating my own. So go back, GSI PPM invoice default US1. This is my invoice rule set, and the account combination rule here is unbilled year. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do 4 steps. One, I'm going to create a new account combination rule for my revenue account. Second, I'm going to create a copy of GSI PPM invoice default, and in this against the revenue, I'm going to attach my account combination rule. That is step 2. Third is I'm going to create a copy of, already I created the copy, so I'll be showing you of US standard accrual and attach this journal entry rule set to that Subledger accounting method. And the fourth step, that Subledger accounting method, I'm going to go and link it to the revenue. I'm not going to do all that thing right now. I'll just show you what I did. So step 1 is to create an account combination rule for revenue. So I go here, I go back. So I go for account rules, manage account rule. I created an account rule called test revenue. So I click on this test revenue. I'll show you what I did. So in this test revenue, this is a new one that I created, test revenue. I copied that existing unbilled and renamed it. But and here I have added 2 lines. One line is a constant, that is your receiving clearing account, and against this I have created a condition called if the memo line is either test hardware or memo line is test software or memo line is test services. This rule is going to be valid, and for the remaining I'm going to put it from transaction distribution GL account. Now just to show you, if I just put it columns here, like for example, I'm just going to edit it just to show you. I don't know whether what I'm going to do is to create some challenge, and if I put validate, this validation will fail. Validation is failed. The source test hardware is not memory. So the reason is this semicolon. So when you create a new rule, when you create a condition, you should always validate the condition. So I just validated. So the validation is completed. So this is how the rule test revenue rule is completed. So now I have to change status to it is activated. So I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to cancel. I'm not going to save this. I cancelled it. Changes are not saved. You want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. So I just cancelled it. So right now, this is a step 1. I created a new account rule called test rev. The second step is to create a copy of the journal entry rule set, the existing journal entry rule set. So I have to go to journal entry rule set and click here, journal entry rule set. So our journal entry rule set was original one was this, but I'm going to create a copy of this. So I click on this and go to actions and duplicate to create a copy of this, which I did. That is what this, and I renamed it as test JERS. In test JERS, what I have done, let's open test JERS. Against revenue, against these are the two revenue, I have attached my account combination rule, which is test revenue. Remember, after doing all these things, you have to go and change status to activate, because the moment you make a change, it will become inactive. So you have to go and change the status to activate. The advantage in Fusion, unlike in EBS R12, is you don't have to run that validate applicate account definition, that whole the program. You just can validate directly from the screen, and that is a very useful feature. So now I have created my journal entry rules as test test JERS. The third step is attaching it to my Subledger accounting method. So I cancel this. Now I go back. Now I go to the Subledger accounting method. So that is manage accounting methods. So I click here. Manage accounting method. Again, what I have done, I have created a copy of the standard accrual as US standard accrual. I have created a copy. US standard accrual method, I have created a copy, and this created US standard accrual as a copy. So I modified this US standard accrual copy. What I did, currently against invoice, this GSI PPL invoice default, that was the original one which was standing. So I end-dated it, and very important, the end date has to be in the last date of the previous month. You cannot end it in the middle of the accounting month. So I end-dated it as on 31st March 2016, and I created a new line by clicking here, and I added invoice all, and I added my test JERS, and as of 1st April 2016. So now I have completed this. So change status. After doing everything, I come here and do change status, activate everything in the chain will get activated. So I can do everything and come here and do activate once. So I have created. So summary, what I have done, I have created a accounting combination rule called test underscore REV. Second is I have modified the journal entry rule set to create a new JERS called test JERS, where I attached test revenue to my revenue account. And the third step that I did is I created a duplicate of the accrual standard accrual method, US standard accrual, and then renamed it as US standard accrual copy, and end-dated the existing event class invoice, and created a new event class invoice with my rules at test JERS. The last and final step is to go and attach this to our ledger. So for that, we go back to ledger option. So we started off with ledger option, and we go back to ledger options. Only in here you can do the ledger options only from the functional setup manager. There's only one navigation, as I understand. Unlike in EBS, from every module setup, you could go to financials and flex fields and accounting setups and all that stuff. It is very slow. So I close this receivable configuration. Now I go back to common configuration, common application configuration for financials. Again I come back to define ledger. Again I come back to define accounting configuration, and here I go to specify ledger option. Specify ledger options for US primary ledger, and I come here. I update my accounting method with my founding method that I created, which is called standard upload copy, and done. Cancel and save and close, of course. Save and close and then cancel, and that's done. That's how you create a new Subledger accounting rule and attach it to the ledger. So this ends my presentation.